For you that is struggling with forgiveness, stop asking yourself those questions. Why will this person do this to me? How manage? Why me? Why me? Start asking yourself, what did I learn from this? Hello guys, welcome back to my space. With you is your girl Favor Ndubisi, and yes, I film about faith, purposeful living, personal development, and friendship. So if these are things that excite you and interest you, what are you waiting for? Click the subscribe button so together we build a thriving family. Alright? We're going to be talking about forgiveness. You see, a lot of people have issues with forgiveness. And hey, before you say, I'm not part of them, I don't have any issues with forgiveness, most times it's just because you have never been hurt. When you experience some level of hurt, then you will realize that indeed there was every reason for the disciples to ask Jesus, how many times should we forgive our neighbor in a day? Do you understand? Yes. So dealing with forgiveness, I think that especially in the Christendom, I don't think this topic has been dealt with in its entirety. I think that it's just more of sweeping the surface, right? Everybody will tell you, forgive your neighbor, forgive your neighbor. The Lord's Prayer, Father, forgive us as we forgive those who offend us. And we all think it is an affirmation, a declaration. Forgiveness goes beyond that. Forgiveness, first of all, is even an action word. It's even like, it's very, very practical. It's not something you recite. It's not something you just tell your neighbor, I'm forgiving you. It goes way beyond that. Do you get it? Yes, it goes way beyond that. When you forgive somebody, you write off the person's sin. Personally, I said personally because this is my own take. I don't think that forgetting is 100%. I don't think that people can easily forget what somebody did to them, especially with the gravity of the offense. But I 100% agree to the fact that people can wholeheartedly forgive somebody. And when I'm talking about forgiveness, I'm talking about that you no longer feel the hurt, you no longer feel the pain that the memory of that thing does to you. Do you understand? Yes. So forgiveness, first of all, let me start with what forgiveness is not. Forgiveness is not a confession. You don't confess that I have forgiven somebody. No. Forgiveness is not suppression. You don't suppress the hurt, because the more you suppress the hurt, the more you are empowering that hurt. So somebody did something to you this year and you're suppressing it, and because you don't want to look like the bad person, you don't want to look like you haven't forgiven the person and all that, so you keep on suppressing it. You'll be surprised what that little act of suppression will do to you. So forgiveness is not suppression. When you forgive somebody or you want to forgive somebody, it's not about suppressing the hurt. No, that's not what forgiveness is. So now, what is forgiveness? I think and I know that the way I see forgiveness, I see it as surrendering to God to help you deal with an issue better. And when I'm talking about dealing with an issue, I don't mean coming for your enemy with fire and brimstone. That is left for him if he chooses to go that way. But I mean in also helping you, empowering you, giving you the grace and the capacity to accommodate that hurt with grace. Alright? That's why they say to err is human, but to forgive is divine. Trust me, any person who truly forgives somebody, I think that there must have been the traces, not even traces, I think that it must have been the empowering of the Holy Spirit, the grace of God. You cannot naturally forgive people by your own strength. And I'm telling you this because, hey, you will not have an idea if you have not experienced hurt from people. When you have experienced genuine hurt, especially when you mean good for this person, you will see that it's more like, I can never forgive, right? But it is when you surrender to God in the place of prayer, right? To surrender to God in the way that, God, this is way beyond me. And I'm saying this because this is how I deal with most issues that I find it difficult to forgive. Because personally, I've also battled my own share of unforgiveness. But I think when the Holy Spirit said breathing life in these areas, He taught me a more better way to approach forgiveness. Alright? So for me, I'll just approach God and tell Him in a place of prayer that this is way beyond me. I know that it is your desire that I forgive people so that you will forgive me, but this hurt is way beyond me. Please give me the grace to, go over this as a child of God. And trust me, it may not be instant, but I will personally experience that this hurt is gradually fading away, right? To the point that maybe when I even see them, I don't feel the pain of what they did to me. It's more like I'm communicating with people, with the person, and much more I see how, how, in quotes, helpless that person is. Because trust me, nobody ever hurts you from a place of wholeness. All right, it takes a broken person to hurt people. It takes a hurting person to hurt people. People only give what they have. So if what they have is brokenness, if what they have is bitterness, is anger, then trust me, you're going to get a share of that. So it's the grace of God opens my eyes to see that this person is just manifesting his or her nature. So the person also need help, right? Yeah. So yes, when I experienced a very tragic is it tragic, a very, bitter past. And when I came out from school, I battled with unforgiveness because I was like, why this kind of thing happened to me, why would they do that kind of thing? So I was dealing with unforgiveness, and I thought that I've even forgiven them. To be very honest, I thought I had forgiven them, until years later the Holy Spirit said raising these matters again in my heart. So whenever I want to pray, I will just it's just like my mind will just wander back to that phase of life, right? And I will start seeing these faces, and I'm like, oh, what is in this for me? And I realized that the Holy Spirit was raising the matter of unforgiveness, and I'm like, what? I mean, I'm forgiving these people. This is years that we graduated from secondary school. So what are you trying? What do you mean by that? The Holy Spirit asked me, so if you claim that you are forgiving them just like you confess, so why the fire that burned in your chest whenever you remember this incident? Why the anger? Why the hurt? Why don't you want to make peace with your past? And I think that was, the eye opener for me. That was when I knew that even though I confessed that yes, I'm forgiving them, to the greatest extent, in the practical view of it, I haven't forgiven them. And then I said, asking Holy Spirit, so how now do you want me to go about it, right? Because I've seen that this one I'm saying is not even shaking anything, it's not doing anything. So how now? And then he gave me a practical example. He asked me, like, when you go for an occasion, right? When you go to a party and they give you a foil, they give you a pack of food, right? Are you going to leave it behind? I said, in my mind, I'm like, no, now, like, why will I leave it behind? My pack of, you know what is a pack of rice, party jollof. I'm like, why will I leave it behind? And he said, yes, that why are you holding on to that pack? And I'm like, obviously, because of the food inside. And he said, yes, that most times that is the same way with forgiveness and guilt and hurt, right? The reason you're holding on to that pack is not because of you like the pack, right? But it's because of the content in it. So because of the rice in it, you're going to hold on to it as long as you are done with the rice. But once you're done with the rice, you dispose the foil, right? I know some African people will be like, hey, that's what we used to store soup in the fridge. Calm down. I think a practical one will be all those paper kind of foil. But even the other ones, so there are people that even discard it right from immediately they are done eating. So yeah, he was like, okay, so the reason why you are holding on to this pack is because of the content and not really the package. And I was like, yes. And he said that is the same thing with forgiveness and hurt. The reason why you are holding on to that hurt is because you have not gotten the lesson from it, right? Every hurt comes with a message. When you get the hurt, when you get the lesson from the hurt, then you see that the offense become lighter for you to discard. Do you understand? When you understand that, okay, maybe you get the lesson from the hurt, it becomes lighter for you to discard. And right from then, my focus changed. I stopped seeing my bitter experience as, why did this happen to me? Why did people I trust this much do this to me? I started asking questions. Like, what is in this for me to learn? How can I become a better person from this experience? And trust me, it really shaped my life. And I was able to, I was able, like, now I'm really grateful. I'm very, very, very grateful for that experience, that happened to me while I was in school. If not for anything, it taught me how to stand on my own, how to have my own voice, and how to, express myself, right? So yeah, so for you that is struggling with forgiveness, stop asking yourself those questions. Why will this person do this to me? How manage? Why me? Start asking yourself, what did I learn from this? How can I use the lesson to become a better person? You see that by the time you start doing this, and also prayerfully too, sometimes God will take you through the journey of even praying for these people that offended you and praying for them with your whole heart, right? Yes, you will pray for them. Sometimes he might even show you things about them, but he will let you pray for them with your own heart, because the more you pray for them, the more he softens your heart towards them. So yes, so start asking the right questions. There is every lesson in every hurt. You're struggling with forgiveness because you have not yet identified the lesson in that hurt, and you are trying to suppress it instead of tackling the matter. At least you tackle it with God. All right, yes. So that is that on forgiveness. I believe that this helped you, because it did me. So why not, if you feel helped, if you feel, wow, I love this, wow, help me to also comment. I want to hear your opinion. What stood out for you in this video? What did you learn from this video? Are you battling with any unforgiveness issue? You can do well to share. If you want to share, you can do well to share in the comment section. I'll be there reading every single comment. And yeah, don't forget to share and subscribe. Thank you for joining me. I love you. God loves you more. I 100% I 100% agree to the fact that people can forgive people when you are, and I 100 hey, but I agree, no, but you hold on to it because of so yes. Oh God, how will I organize this? Help me, so right, please, can you check if this thing is recording for me, because I'm gonna go pay me if what this is I'm saying is not recording. Okay, so yes, anybody that Larry, please come and cut. I want to film another one.
No.
Hey!
Please stop. What were you doing now? Should I click on recording again?
No! I had this thing, God!
But what is it could be the issue now?
In space.
That's good. So I've gotten a realistic reaction. Of course.